Hello everybody, thanks for joining us, welcome. It's the 7th of September. Yeah, I just finished off some tankards over here, just putting on handles. So I'm just keeping them under plastic so they don't dry too quickly, because it's one of the things you want to be wary of is if you've put handles or lugs or anything or appendages onto a pot, what you need to guard against is cracking. So it's always a good idea to, when you do the handling or lugging or whatever it is, that your handle clay is a little stiffer perhaps than your regular throwing clay, because you want to be adding one piece of clay to the pot, and you want their moisture levels to be as close as possible. Well, obviously the handle is going to be wetter and softer, but to avoid the cracking issue, that's not a bad idea. And then when you've put the handle on, to just put a piece of plastic over your board of pots, like I've done over here, just to let them de-stress themselves, and to equalize out the differences in the moisture of the handle compared to the moisture of the tankard, say, so that they become closer together, you see. And then if you do that, you'll find that you won't get cracking. Anyway, what I'm doing here right now, I'm playing around. I've just been adding onto this piece here because some lines, maybe you can see. What are you doing, Simon? What is that? Explain yourself. So I've just added some. Let me just spin the wheel for you a touch. They are some lines because I want to use wood ash, you see. So here's an example of a little squashed flask with the wood ash running down. So I wanted to add some lines. I want to do a similar treatment you see on here, but I want to put these lines in, or they're raised lines. I'm just going to show you how I do that, to act as kind of barriers for the wood ash when it runs. So it'll hit the line, you see, and then it'll build up above the line, and then it might overflow in different places, just in a natural sort of way, you know. We don't want to be contrived, do we? No, we do not. So that's what I'm doing anyway. Okay, so I've done this one here, as you see. So there's a little bit of, I don't want the lines to be absolutely sort of like perfect lines. I want them to be a little bit of wave, if you see what I mean. All right. So I've got another one to do. Let's get him. Oh, I tell you, it's hot. It's 85 degrees here actually in the workshop. It's like, and I had to turn the fan off because I don't want the sound of the fan on the. So yeah. So how am I going to go about doing that? Putting some raised lines around the pot. I'll tell you what I did. you could maybe try it out. So here I've got this bucket of slip, you see, which is all it is really leftover, kind of like I collect up the wheel from the when I give workshops here, collect up the water pots from the wheels, and then collect the sediment out of the water pots, which is like a fine silt, nice fine silty clay, and I'm keeping it in this big pot here. Alright. I then take it in there and put my drill, you know, with a mixer bit on the end to get it really kind of beaten up fine. And then I transfer it into one of these guys, slip trailer. And I'm going to use the slip trailer in conjunction with these tools that I've got here. Well, I probably won't be using most of these actually. But I do have a comb and another comb, and these little rubber kidneys. Also got an old credit card, or not a credit card, but some card. So those guys there, using those with a slip. All right, I don't know, I mean there we are, we'll set him up like that so you can see him. Right. So there's a whole world of decorative ideas that you can do to your pots. You know, like after you've thrown them, you can take slip like this. You know, you could just plaster it over the side of your pot, couldn't you? And do some fun design. Maybe we'll do that. But well, this one I did like that. You see, you don't want to. Don't be too careful about it. Just allow a little bit of a bit of wave to come there, you see. So yeah, there is beauty, isn't there, in irregularity. We don't want everything. We know everything that we make on the wheel, you see, is like when I look at this wheel head, it's like the lines that are in this wheel head, you know, everything is absolutely dead, absolutely. Well, yeah, well, I like that in a way. I mean, I'm an engineer. I was an engineer before I was a potter, so I can appreciate that. But you see, clay is not metal, is it? So I'm just going to put that on there. And we're going to just tap center him. So basically what I'm doing is just going to get him attached to the wheel head, you see. So let's take this slip trailer, which has got that stuff in it, and apply it to this pot, the outside of the pot. Before we do that, we'll have a drink of tea then. Good. Actually, you know what? Before I do it, I'm just going to damp this a touch, like that, with a sponge before I apply the slip. Okay. So you want to hold these slip trailers like this with your thumb here, so you can apply pressure here, which will allow the slip to come out. Let's show you what the slip will look like when it comes out. So you see, you can make little fine dots, or you maybe want to do more of a longer So I'm going to sort of think about putting, say, 1, 2, 3 anyway. So I don't want the wheel going around too fast. I'm just going to hold this, apply pressure here, let the slip come out, and you'll see what it does. There it is. There it is. Sort of trying to get them equidistant, thereabouts. Okay. Well, what do you think? Thing is, now if you look at that, you see how I've done that. So, well, Simon, that looks pretty like you've engineered it. They look pretty, you know, straight and all that, like these lines in the wheel. And so they are, because it's difficult to make it go around and then make my arm go up and down like this. So I have to come back at it now, you see, with a tool, and create a little bit of waviness. So I'm going to take this rubbery kidney, and I'm going to use this with the wheel going slowly. You need it going slowly, the wheel, to get the waviness, you see. Well, you could actually you could probably take a finger, a wetted finger, and just pretty much do the same thing. Again, using this. So I sort of approached it on the bottom, from the bottom, and now I'm going to yeah. Sometimes when I do it, I sort of feel, yes, I like that, and other times I think, yeah, well. So, right, okay. I'm just going to carefully with my sponge here, just in between there. So what you have to do, you see, is you have to envisage, because you see that pot when it's finished is going to look like this. It's not going to be the same shape, but it's going to look like that. So you can understand, by creating these lines, it creates a barrier for this runny glaze. And another thing you can do is you can make little, maybe we'll do that. How will we do that? Let's have a look. Well, of course, when I spray the wood ash here on the top, I'm going to spray it fairly heavily, you see, especially at the top here, and because we want to see it running down. So I think what I'm going to do is just here remove a little piece of clay there, you see, in the thing that in the little clay slip line that I've put there. Remove a little. So what's that going to do? Well, the ash will accumulate around there, melt. Some of it it'll probably go to the left and to the right and fall down, you see, between or fall down where I've made a gap. So it'll fall down then here. So then I'll put another gap there in between these two. Let's bring the camera in just so, in case you're not with me. So you can see you've got to sort of imagine, you see, what the glaze is going to do. So it's going to run down that one to there, then it'll go left and right and it'll come down there. When it comes down here, we want to encourage it to go, so I want to put one in between these two, like that. There. Of course, it may not work like this at all. The glaze might just pour over the edge wherever it wants. All I'm trying to do is trying to encourage it to go a certain pathway, if you see what I mean. And then on the last one again, so between these there and there, so there. And there. So each ring that I've got here has got four little notches taken out of it, you see, and they're staggered with the ring above. They're staggered. You're a bit like a brick wall, you know. So I don't know, we'll just see what that does. Yes, we will. And yeah. So you have to sort of think about the glaze and it's the way it behaves, you see, because this glaze behaves in a certain way. If I put it, if you look at this mug, well, it's not so thick, you see, on the mug as it is on here. Thicker it is, the more likely it will run. This is at cone 10, you see, in reduction. So, hey, thanks for joining us, folks. Just a quick clip, just want to bring you up to date with what I'm doing. And yeah, I want to actually do a bit of experimentation, making some forms, you see, and then taking the wet slip, applying the wet slip, and then combing it, using the slip trailer, adding dots and lines, etc. Don't know, just felt like doing that. Not really done it before much, but I thought I'd give it a go. Anyway, hope that's been of some interest to you. Thanks for watching. Please go to my website, leachpottery.com. While I'm here, I might as well do a plug for my for my kick wheels. I've got two kick wheels here, for sale, brand new ones. And well, let me just go outside. I just got to check something a moment. Might be of interest. You did see me do some of these bowls, I think. These are drying. What I'm going to do with these, I'm actually going to put some, I'm going to use some shellac on those, and then use a sponge over the shellac when it's dry to reveal the pattern. That's quite fun to do if you've not done it. Oh look, here a couple. Here, so you put the shellac on, and then with a sponge you wipe it over, so it gives this, it's got like a relief, the pattern, you see. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, be doing some of those on those bowls coming up soon. Anyway, thanks for joining us. What I did want to say was the kick wheels here that I've got 2 available. If anybody's interested, just please write to me and I'll give you a shipping quote. If buying a wheel is not up your street and you'd rather have a plan for the wheel, if you go to my website simonleachpottery.com, you'll see there is a PDF there, which it's a kind of basic plan with all the dimensions that you need to make the wheel. If that's something that interests you, go there and you can purchase the plans. I also incorporate a link to, I don't know how many photographs, 30 or 40 photographs of this wheel here, finished by my friend John Peachy, who's an Amish carpenter who lives down there in Big Valley, about 40 minutes from here. Yeah, so anyway, just go there if that interests you, and you can buy the plan from there. Okay folks, thank you for joining us, and don't forget, keep practicing. I'll see you soon. Bye. Dee, 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 dee.